I'm doing right now is I got my hand up to my eye and the camera in front of the sun so that I can kind of see where I'm aiming the camera at. Digital collection of electromagnetic nanocarbon from the cloud level. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast over and over from the veil to the ground. I have a brown filter, a cut up bottle, a piece of glass that I cut off of a whiskey bottle of some kind. And I tape it on my camera so that I could add some contrast for the human eye that has lost everything. Um, we're so far removed from any reality, you're not going to believe it unless you go look for yourselves. And then, even when you do see it, it's going to take some time to understand that we've been lied to about absolutely everything. We lie to ourselves, we lie to our children, we lie to each other. Everything is a fucking lie. And it doesn't have to be that way. But the 7.8 billion zombie slaves outnumber me. I can't get through to anyone. YouTube keeps shutting me down. It's my only hope of being able to bring this to anyone on any kind of a platform is YouTube, and doesn't work all that great. You got complete control of the whole system. Even the videos, I was starting to get into the moon, and I put a bunch of moon videos on there, and I've been listening to whoever YouTube sends me. If I click onto something, then YouTube puts up all these, because I don't have my head glued to the screen, but my ears are, and a lot on the auditors, a lot of auditor videos. It's so hard to watch some of the saddest shit, but I even noticed even them and a lot of trans shit and stuff like that that's been going on for quite a while. That again, we can't talk about it. If I do, my videos get shut down. They spike them or whatever they do to them, and then YouTube shuts them down. And then it's not a fair playing field at all, obviously, the YouTube thing. Um, Everybody's not equally shut down. you know, they're not, the tyranny is not equal among all. There are whatever, if you want to spew their agendas and their propagandas, then yes, then you can get through. And that's what I was just thinking about, because there's a new dude, I think his name is Peterson, black guy. He's really nice guy. He makes a lot of sense when you listen to him talk. But even him too, if he realized that everything has been a lie, then I think that he would be able to see the other side of these crazy, what I would consider crazy thoughts as well. I'm right with them, just like I am with a lot of people um, that are out there. That's why I was calling out the conservatives, because thinking that the religious conservatives would awaken to what I'm showing them, because they'd go and look. They would use their eyes. They'd go and look. I'd trick them into looking. That's my whole thing, because you can't really get anyone to really look. You got to kind of trick them into looking, and I'm hoping that that would be enough to keep them on board. Once they see it, they would stop being afraid. But that hasn't happened yet. It doesn't happen. Every time they look and see it, even the famous ones, even the ones that have a lot of street creds and they're very famous, like Candace Owens. I made Candace Owens a series, and I know that she's come to it. I know she has. I've seen a difference in her personality after I made her series. There was a short time she was very unsure of herself, which is very not like her. All right. So I don't know if she fucking sold out the rest of the way, or if she already sold out before I made the series. And even me saying something like that sounds crazy to the average person listening, because they'd say, "Come on, man, it's just imagination." Because, she's got a lot of fame, whatever, wealth and fame and everything like that. So why would she not just ignore you, right? Number one, that's the first thing. Or if she really wanted to bother, let's say if I had some street cred, some mainstream YouTube creds or whatever, then I could come out and like she does with Cardi B or other people that she debates with. She cannot touch this, people. She cannot touch this what I'm showing you. Don't you get it? It doesn't matter how famous they are. When you make a 200 to 300 part series, which I did, which I do for everybody that I make series for, and because that's my whole thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm calling them out. But the average person that comes along says, "Oh my God, he's making this person or that person. They're too famous. They're never gonna even look at your videos. And then if they do, why would they take the time? Because you're a nobody. Why would they take the time to call you out and say, hey, look at this idiot. He thinks he sees the true creator in the clouds, the trees, the rocks, the moon, and all this, right? Right? They cannot take the chance because if anybody goes and looks in any amount of numbers, that's why most of my numbers are them. These are the fucking same people that are running things. They've got their minion out there running channels and whether they're small fake channels or large fake channels, because they're all fucking fake, because we are all dumbed down zombie slaves, every one of us. This glass filter is nice, huh? I know I was going back and looking at it the other day, some of the videos. It depends on the day. A day like this is really nice for this dark filter. This is a dark brown cut up bottle filter. Look at this shit. You know, you guys are pretending that you don't see it. You're pretending that you can't see it. Because you can see it. They're all over the fucking jets. Are all over it too. So the other day I was counting jets, right? Because I used to do that back in the old days. I used to count them throughout the day because I'd say, how could the 7.8 billion zombie slaves not see what's right in front of their own fucking eyes? It's right above their head. I mean, you got some people like myself who are out there pointing it all out, right? So how could they refuse to look? It's impossible. It's impossible. So there are a few that are willing to look, but the ones that they make up excuses and say, "Oh yeah, um, it's just a condensation trail." See, because it's not continuing on. But then we learned over the years, of the people that were watching it all the time, we learned their patterns and we said, "Oh, okay." So they have to put a lot of these. First of all, the reason you're not seeing the rest of the line could be the lights and shadows. It could be just that is the reason why the angle that he's flying at, this particular one right here. Where's my finger? There he is. This one particular one right here, he's flying at an angle where the lights and shadows are not working in my favor, so I'm not going to see them. I will. I will. Number two on that, the buildup. They always have to have 1 to 2 days of buildup. Now, that doesn't mean they have to build up right here over my head. They could build up 100 miles that way, or maybe even more or less, right? I'm not even going to see them if they're 100 miles that way and they're going back and forth and all over, but they're not coming any closer than 100 miles to me. I'm not saying, um, I'm talking, here's another one right here going back, nothing. All right, so let me see if I can get him. He's right here. All right. And he's got nothing coming out of his ass end. I will give you, he is probably about 3 to 4 thousand. He's right there. See him? He is about 3 to 4 thousand feet lower. It looks like maybe, yeah, a couple thousand feet lower than the other one that's throwing out the trail. All right. But that's not what's going on here. This is one that's going back to re up on their concoction, whatever their concoction is. Right. Um, it's not a matter of height. It's not a matter of the 10,000 feet thing, ice crystals, and all that kind of shit. Not for when we're talking about condensation trails. That's not to say that ice crystals don't exist because they do. There are times, certain times of the year, depending on where you are, where it is cold in that atmosphere. And of course, at 10,000 feet, because that is about the height that these things are always dropping out, is about 10. They have their own airspace, these mineral street jets, right? And we're not supposed to talk about them. We can't talk about them. My videos get shut down whenever I do talk about them. I can show videos of them every day and not talk about them and allow YouTube to determine what it is I'm showing you. I could do that because I'm not really showing you the jets anymore. That was the old days. I only mention it because YouTube still busts my balls about it. And it's funny because I don't even talk about the fucking, I don't even talk, look at this shit. Um, other than to point out that it's not, don't waste your time. That should have been figured out by the zombie slaves a long time ago. So if they're not willing to look at that and come to terms with the mineral streets, then how the hell am I going to get anybody to look at the true creator's work, right? So it's very difficult. I mean, it's very, very difficult. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, beast, over and over from the veil to the ground. I think I'm at almost at 30 minutes now, and I'm gonna go in and give it up out here because it's fucking aggravating, man. No one will go look. No one will look. They won't look for themselves. And this is how easy it is. Just some fucking douchebag with a camera in his yard, and I'm trying to show you. And I go around and into other things, rock, stones, so there's no confusion. I don't want anyone to be confused about any of it. It's not confusing at all. We can all see it. We're in denial of it. We just refuse to look. Yeah, so when people do see it, they run away, you know, those ones that do come. So I'm watching Candace Owens lately, and I'm wondering about her as well too, you know. Because she's back to being herself again. You know, I was saying she was acting very different for the last few months. I knew she wasn't gonna. I had to give it time, you know. So I gave. It's been a year and a half, something like that, since her series. And the same thing goes for. I got to check out another one that I liked. Richard there, that guy Richard from England. He lived in Britain. I'd be interested to see if him and his girlfriend or fiance had figured this out yet, you know, because they must come to the videos. I mean, one of their minion have to tell them at some point